Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Crown Point High School as the Region Sports Network presents live coverage of Indiana High School softball as the Andrean Fighting 59ers take on the Crown Point Bulldogs. I'm Cap Miller, now the play-by-play for tonight's action. Thanks so much for being with us here on this Thursday night. A couple of teams that are very familiar with each other. 6 consecutive seasons where they'll match up as non-conference opposition. Crown Point has won the last 5 matchups between these two teams. Crown Point overall 11-3-1. They're 7-1 in the Newland Conference, while Andrean comes in 9-6 overall, 3-3 in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. They come in currently at 500 in the league play and sit in 4th place. Time now for the softball night forecast, brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, 55 degrees. The feels like is 49 degrees with light rain forecasted for the next hour. That's the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. We now send you to the public trust announcer for the national anthem.
Please rise and join me in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, sing by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and
Welcome back. Tonight's batting orders are powered by Great Lakes Sports Hub, where athletes train harder, recover smarter, and compete at their best. Elevate your game at the Hub. Andrean, like we mentioned, 9-6 overall, 3-3 in 4th place in the Northwest Crossroads Conference, and here is how they line up. Maddie McCoy will lead things off. She's in center field. J.C. Alba bats second in right field. Sadie Drocious is the pitcher. She bats third. Ashlyn Height is the third baseman in the cleanup spot. Danny Poskin, the first baseman, will stretch the lineup out in the 5 spot. The DP today will bat 6th. Cheyenne Salmons. Cassidy Powell, the shortstop, bats 7th. Ava Zygmuntowski is the left fielder, batting 8th. And Lizzie Wong, the second baseman, bats 9th. For Crown Point, the Bulldogs 11-3-1 overall. They're 7-1 in Duneland Conference play. They're in second place behind Lake Central. Scarlett Tegman will lead things off in center field. Lou Johnston bats second at shortstop. Ashlyn Kita will bat third and play third base, I should say. Evie Cuevas is the DP, batting fourth. Eva Govert is the second baseman, batting fifth. Anna Neal in left field bats sixth. Elle Sizon will bat seventh and play first base. Stella Dauphin, the catcher, bats eighth. And Ella Slevin will bat ninth and play right field. So you see Crown Point has taken the field for their pregame warm-ups. Time to introduce starting pitcher for today's game. That means we turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today. It's presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. For Crown Point, they will send Grace Gabriel to the circle, a right-handed pitcher. She is 1-0 with a 1.40 earned run average across 4 outings so far this season. The sophomore comes in, will have to take care of this Andrean lineup. It's a lineup that has some pop in their bat, but they're trying to figure out how to really get back to their early season form. They've struggled offensively as of late. We're all set to go. First pitch getting set to come in here at 4:34 local time. Gabriel to Maddie McCoy, and off we go with the first pitch that clips the outside corner. McCoy, Andrean's leader in batting average, .532 on the season. She has 25 hits and 47 at-bats. That one misses off the outer edge. Right on left here in the first inning. We mentioned the possible rain in the forecast. It's appeared to have slowed down some pockets of sunshine. Climbing through the clouds on a 1-1 pitch. Right in front of the circle, Gabriel pounces on it, and there's the game's first out. J.C. Alba, the right fielder, now stepping in. A junior outfielder infielder combo player. And she watches strike one. Andrean enters having lost 3 of their last 5 games, where they have been outscored 33-25 in that span. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got the hitter fooled out in front. It's quickly 0-2. Crown Point, meanwhile, enters feeling good. A couple of strong Duneland Conference wins in their last couple of outings, including a dominant victory over the Maryville Pirates yesterday, where they beat Maryville 23-2. Here is an 0-2 pitch again. It's taken outside. But good out of the hand of Gabriel. Second best ERA on the Bulldogs roster coming into this start today. Pop back, and it's foul in the protective netting above the press box. This newer press box, just about 2 years old now. Part of the on-campus athletics, really just renovation of all the outdoor sports. Over in right field, beyond the right field fence, you see the new JV football and then the varsity soccer fields that they share. That pitch misses. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes, and we're just behind the visitors' sideline of the Crown Point football stadium as well, too. Count is 2-2 with 1 away the pitch. That one's roped to left field. Neal Campson makes the catch for out number 2. So Gabriel has sat down the first 2 59ers. And Drocious will step in. Pitcher batting for herself. A .340 campaign so far in 15 games at the dish. You'll see her in the circle most likely in the bottom of the first. And she takes strike one. Crown Point and Andrean meeting for a 6th consecutive season as non-conference opponents. We mentioned off the top, Crown Point's won the last 5 between these teams. That dates back to 2021. Obviously, they did not play in 2020 due to the pandemic canceling the season, and they didn't play in the years leading up to the 2020 season. That's a rocket to left field, and that's a base knock for Sadie Drocious. The first hit and base runner of the ball game comes with 2 outs in the top of the first. So Height is aboard. And at the plate with the runner on first base. And she cuts and misses at that one. That's what Andrean's hoping. They can start a 2-out rally here and hope they can get back to their early season form offensively when they were dominant. 1-1 is the count. Scoring about just 5 runs per game in their last 5, which a lot of teams around, not just the state, but the country would take that type of offensive showing every game. But when you look and see you're giving up just under 7 a game during that 5-game span, something's got to click. And the best teams and those teams that are contenders to go downstate on a 1-2 pitch is popped up left side of the infield. Kita underneath it. The third baseman has it, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on first base. No score up to the top of the first. You're watching Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Strachan Van Til was voted Best of the Region in 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Strachan Van Til.
Welcome back. Time to introduce the visiting starting pitcher for today's game. That means we turn once again to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. The 59ers will counter with the right-hander Sadie Drocious, who we saw record a 2-out single in the top of the first inning. Drocious 5-4 win-loss record with a 3.35 ERA. This will be her 11th appearance of the season, which is one of the best on the team, the most on her team. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, experienced roofing and siding contractor serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee. Visit them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. So let's see what this Crown Point offense can do. They are so dangerous. They've outscored their opponents in their last 2 games alone, 34-2. Tetman will be the first batter. She comes in with a team best 500 batting average and takes that one down and away. Tegman, Johnston, Kita, the front 3 for the Bulldogs. 11-3-1 overall. Yes, that extra one is a tie. They had one back on April the 16th in a road non-con game at Lockport where they got through 8 innings before the game was called at 6-6. Here's a 1-1 from Drocious. Swing and a miss. She may have gotten a piece of it as well. And the pitcher's ahead here. And I know it's a non-conference game, but what Crown Point has been doing offensively is ridiculous, especially in their conference wins. Here comes a 1-2. Slap the other way, but that's foul down the left side. And the Crown Point center fielder at the dish, a senior, has scored the most runs of any Bulldog this season, or tied, I should say, with 20. That's slap foul again off the siding of the third base dugout. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Lulu Johnston, who is on deck, is the person she's tied with for most runs scored on the Bulldogs this season. Drosh is looking for that get-out pitch, and she can't. As a nice job here by Scarlett, fouling it off again. It's now 3 consecutive foul balls out of the left side. One of the best slap hitters in the Duneland Conference. Awaits a 1-2. She pulls this one to the right side. Wong, a little bit of a bobble, but she stays with it and makes the play. So Johnston will come up with one away, another left-handed hitter at the dish. The sophomore shortstop for the Bulldogs. 481 on the season, 1 home run. She's driven in 11. And she takes strike 1. Check swing, foul back. It's 0-2. Johnston behind 0-2. Here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat, it finds a gap on the left side. It's a 2-strike single to left for Lulu Johnston. One down and a runner on first base. That'll be the third baseman now. Corners will play in. Kita cuts and misses for strike 1. Johnston has 3 stolen bases on the year. We'll see how aggressive she is in the first inning. On 0-1, there's a swing and a miss. Johnston not running. Each side so far a first inning hit. Here comes an 0-2. In off the hands, yanked foul. Crown Point, 11 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie on the year. Have 1 loss in conference play. That was against fellow Duneland and what many consider one of the rivals for this program, Lake Central. I mean, the Duneland teams, you see them so much that a lot of the teams you can easily consider a rival of sorts. Here's another 0-2. Taken down. Lake Central, who is currently in first place in the DAC, unbeaten, 9-0 in conference play, entering softball action on Thursday the 30th. There's a chopper. It kicks foul down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the count holds. Ada tied for the team lead in batting average at .500. She has homered 5 times, and she's driven in a team best 23. And the 1-2 again is pulled foul. Crown Point, they put together some nice long at-bats here in the home half of the first inning. Even if they get nothing really to show for it, you'll take this type of offensive inning against Drocious. And another hard-hit ground ball that finds a hole. Consecutive 2-strike, 1-out singles for Johnson and Kita brings up Cuevas with 1 away.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, designated player number 16, Emily Cuevas.
Cuevas, who's the DP. A .455 campaign here in her junior year. The flex today is the starter, Gabriel. There's a ball back up the middle and through for a base hit. Johnston around third. She'll score without a play, and it's 1-0 Crown Point. 3 straight 1-out singles from the Bulldogs see them strike first.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, second baseman number 15, Eva Gobert.
Cuevas' 12th RBI on the season. Strike 1 there. Now they bluff the steal. Now coming for the plate and scoring is Kita. Back at first safely there is Cuevas. They execute the fake steal of second, and it pays off with the second run of the first inning for Crown Point. Tap foul. And if you're a Gobert, you're probably thinking, man, that's a possible RBI you just took out of my hands right there. And now she's got to find a ball in the gaps. She has 14 of them, so it's not uncommon for her. In the air, right center field, and a diving attempt there from McCoy, but it squirts out of her glove. They will hold Cuevas at third. That would have been the catch of the game so far for Maddie McCoy. But you hear it so often in the fall. She did not complete the process of the catch. It came out of her glove the second she made contact with that artificial surface out there in right center field. And now Anna Neal will be the batter. And Neal with a high fly ball, center field playable. McCoy charges, makes the catch. Throw is cut off, and that'll be another run for Crown Point. Neal, a sacrifice fly, and it's 3-0.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, first baseman number 7, El Shizai.
Bulldogs first baseman goes after the first pitch and lines it foul down the line. It's an offense that can score in bunches. Now up to 141 runs scored this season through 15 games played. Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike. Crown Point, the story in this first inning, 4 consecutive 1-out singles from Johnston, Kita, Cuevas, and Govert. And off the hands, it's foul. Batter stays alive. And yes, the Govert ball where McCoy nearly took it away from her was ruled a single, rightfully so. 0-2. Foul, this time to the left. Way out of play into the batting cage area on the baseball field, which is parallel from the third base side of the softball field here on Crown Point's campus. That pitch is taken off the outside corner. It's 1-2. One ball, two strikes. The count went 2 away. The pitch. And she got her swinging. Just tied her up, down and in, and that will end the inning. But the Bulldogs strike for 3 in the bottom of the first inning. 3 runs off 4 hits, no errors, and a runner left on first base. We played 1, 3-0 the score. This is softball night in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Looking to buy or sell in Northwest Indiana? Trust the Nicola Group, one of the region's top real estate teams, delivering a smooth, client-first experience every step of the way. The Nicola Group, the trusted Northwest Indiana real estate team. Poskin, Salmons, Powell due up. That is 5-6-7 for Andrean. And the inning begins with ball 1. Cavalier enjoying your company after a 3-run first inning from the Crown Point Bulldogs. That's tapped, and they're going to wave it dead, and it's going to say they hit the batter's foot. Poskin hops around the batter's box area in some pain. Not as cold as it has been earlier in the week, heck, even yesterday, so still painful, but not nearly as bad as it could be on a freezing cold day where you foul one off your foot. That is a beautiful drop ball, and it's 1-2. Strike 3 called. It's the first strikeout of the game for Grace Gabriel. And it's the first out of the second inning. The senior DP, infielder and pitcher by trade, gets a day off defensively so far. Still in the lineup as she takes ball 1. She is 2 for 10 on this season with just 1 RBI. Here comes a 1-0. Cut on a missed. Climbing the ladder there to get the hitter off balance. Andrean in an early hole, which has been a common theme for them over the last couple of weeks. That pitch bounces in there 2-1. It was a great start to the 59ers season. They started 5-0. They were averaging over 10.5 runs per game during that stretch. But since the 5-0 start, they have only won 4 of their last 10 as this one's popped up. Johnston claims she has it, and she does for out number 2. And in that stretch where they've gone 4-6 across their last 10 games, they've averaged just 5.1 runs per game while giving up over 6. So they're in the negatives on the run differential side after being extreme to the plus through the first 5 games, but their last 10 have been a much different story. Cassidy Powell is at short, and she takes ball 1. Trocious, the 2-out single, the only hit so far for Andrean. Will we see another 2-out hit here? It's ball 2. Reno is the count. There's the get me over strike. On the other side, if you're Crown Point, this is business as usual so far. If you look at an inning-by-inning breakdown, they've averaged about 3 runs in the first inning in games this season, which they've achieved that so far. Here's a 2-out walk issued to Powell. And this was a team that was trying to make sure they don't let this Andrean team string any hits or base runners together. That was one of the biggest keys when we talked with this Crown Point coaching staff, was they understand that they cannot allow things like this to happen. This is Karam to Johnston, who fires the first. It's not in time. That's now a pair of 2-out base runners aboard, and this goes back to what we were just talking about, where an Andrean team that's struggling to find momentum offensively right now, you can't find a way to let them get going. That was one of the biggest keys for Crown Point. Make sure they stay cold. Here's Lizzie Wong. Fans at that one, it's 0-1. Still 2 outs in the inning. However, if Wong gets on, the top of the order and Maddie McCoy is looming. Wong, a junior, playing second base today, falls behind 0-2. A flare, but it's caught at second base, and that will end the inning. Andrean gets a couple on with 2 out, but straight on both on the base paths. After an inning and a half, it's Crown Point 3, Andrean 0. This is Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say, "Go Bulldogs!" Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23. Purchase wares from 7A+ vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. Home half of the second begins with Dauphin taking that one. And she grounds that one right back where it came from, and it's the 5th Crown Point hit of the game and the first leadoff base runner for either side this afternoon. And we will see a courtesy runner, Yarborough, and an outfielder and a senior as well running here for Dauphin. Yes. Time is called as the umpires make the change on their cards, and now Sylvania will step in. Left-handed hitter, a sophomore, pops that one out of play. 3:33 on the air. She has driven in 5 runs. She's got a pair of extra base hits, 1 double and 1 triple. Crown Point looking to break this one open early here. High chopper right side, having trouble if it is Wong, and she has no play. We will see what they ruled that. I would assume that's going to be called an error. As Tegman will step back up. Second time for her. She grounded out to Wong in the first inning. Squares and drops the bunt down. Up on the first base line. It is placed perfectly, and everyone's safe. Why not bunt for a single instead of trying to drop one down for a sacrifice? And the bases are full. So single, error, and a single. And we are guessing that's going to be ruled an error on the second baseman. Here's Johnston. Slashes this one down the left field line, but it touches down foul. I will confer with our great producer, Zach Sinelli, on whether we agree it's an error or not committed at second base. He agrees, error. So E4. Because we know some of you may like to score at home along with us. It's a ball and a strike. Johnson has 11 RBI on the year and 1 home run. What a time this could be if she can get a hold of this one for her second. Here's the 1-1. Takes it just off the inside edge. Nowhere to put her with Yarborough on third. Slovenia on second and Tegman on first. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. 2-2. First inning single for Johnston. She came around to score on the Cuevas single. Underneath that one, stays alive though. Crown Point with 3 runs all in the first inning. They're threatening here in the second after the first 3 have all reached base. Here comes a 2-2. Johnston chops one back in front of the circle. Drocious gets the out at the plate. Nice job by Thornberry faking the throw, and it keeps every other runner at their respective bases. So a 1-2 fielder's choice. And here's Kita, who singled and scored her only trip to the plate. Kita has that power we were talking about. 5 home runs. She has 23 RBI, which leads the team in both of those categories. Drosh is battling here, but the base is still full. Chopper, that is a foul ball. Height fielded it just on the left side of the chalk at third. But now all of a sudden, Kita has protected to 1-2 count. Drosh is ready, and the pitch. Fouled. Some of the Crown Point coaching staff, when talking with them ahead of this one of the keys to the game, they talked about how they have to be ready at the plate and just try to be aggressive and put balls in play. And they felt that if they could put balls in play, they could be in situations like this where their offense has shined best so far. Kita fouls off another 1-2 pitch. The only out so far was the fielder's choice that Johnston bounced into, cutting down what would be the game's fourth run at the plate. Fouled again. After each pitch, this Crown Point dugout just keeps getting louder and louder, understanding the momentum that these long at-bats have for hitters like Kita. And she skies this one straight away, center field. This one's off the wall. Scoring is Slovenia. Tegman around third. She will score. It's a 2 RBI double for Ashlyn Kita, and it's 5-0 Crown Point. She got all of that ball. Nothing McCoy could do. She fielded it well off the bounce of the chain link fence and got it into second base as soon as possible in our on-site replay. And now here's Cuevas. Singled and scored a run in the first inning. Fouls the first pitch off. For Kita, RBI number 24 and 25. And it is her 7th double on the year. That's fouled way down the right field line. And it's quickly 0-2. Bulldogs threatening for more. 0-2 misses up. Johnson on third. Kita on second. Cuevas, he already came through once in this one. Taps this one in front of the circle. And the out will be recorded at first base. No runs can score as Drocious with the heads-up play stares at the Johnson, the runner off of third. And there's 2 away. Score at 1-3 if you're scoring at home. And now Govert will come up with 2 away and 2 on. Wind starting to pick up and the rain appears to be rolling in here. There's always a threat of rain in the area before first pitch. That is ball 2. Crown Point 3 runs in the first, 2 so far here in the second. On a 2-0. Swing and a miss. Just blew it right by her. Govert, who had that single in the first inning, was stranded at first base to end the frame. Fouls the 2-1 off. 2-2. Taken upstairs. Full count with 2 away. Tro's just looking for that big out pitch here. Andrean needs it to try to hang in this one with Crown Point threatening to really break it open. That one's fouled straight back again. Good at bat from Gilbert. The second baseman for Crown Point. Popped up, that's foul and out of play. We're to enter this one hitting 280. The junior infielder, 14 hits, 14 RBI. Stays alive again. Another long at bat here from Crown Point. This wasn't in the keys to the game. The coaches listed off, but I think long at bats any coach will take, even if it's not in the game plan. Another full count pitch is popped up. Right side of the infield. Poskin and Wong come together, and both of them can't make the catch, and 2 runs will score. Oh, man, Drosh has had the pitch to get him out of the inning. Just miscommunication on the right side of that infield. And it cost them 2 more runs, and it's 7-0. And because it didn't hit anyone's glove, it's technically a 2 RBI single. So it's RBIs 15 and 16. And all of a sudden now you're nearing run rule territory here in the second. Drilled the other way off the bat of Neal. This one's down into the wall. Around third comes Gilbert. They're going to give her the green light. Throw goes into third. It's late. It's an RBI triple for Anna Neal, her second ribby of the day, and it's 8-0 Crown Point. And it continues now. First pitch, base hit left field. 9-0 the score. Another 2-out knock. 3 in a row for CP. And they've batted around here in the second inning. Chop back up the middle. Powell goes the short way to get the runner out at second, and that will end the inning. But 6 come across to score for Crown Point in the second. It's 9-0 Bulldogs. This is softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Top of the third inning, and it is all Crown Point. Bulldogs up 9-0. They batted around in the second inning. Six runs off 6 hits with 1 error and 1 runner left on base. So it's the top of the order in McCoy. And she slaps the 0-1 into the mitt of Johnston at short for out number 1. Andrean, when they were only chasing a 3-0 hole, put a couple of base runners in, brought the tying run up with 2 outs in the top of the second, but couldn't get her across. And Indiana, mind you, by the way, like I mentioned, we're in fringe run rule territory. 15 after 3, 10 after 5 is what appears to be the official ruling. It varies at the NFHS level, state by state cases. If this was college, you'd only need to be up by 8 after 5. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Alba. Bloop to shallow right. Govert going out there, and she makes a nice running catch. And there's 2 down. Drocious, who is the pitcher who didn't get a lot of help from her defense. An actual error on the scorecard, but also a big mental error. With 2 out, they could have gotten out of the inning down by 5. Instead, the first baseman and second baseman failed to communicate and allowed a pop-up with 2 outs drop. Up the middle, Govert throws on the run, not in time. She had to set her feet. Momentum going entirely towards the third base dugout, and Drocious has her second hit of the game. Height, who popped out to third to end the first inning, in for her second go-around. Pops that one foul in the netting just above the press box. I was ready for it if it came to me. Just saying. I didn't bring my glove today, though. Zaxanelli or Martin probably did. One of those 2 guys. They're always prepared over there. Our phenomenal crew working on site here today for Region Sports Network. As I'm talking out loud, it's probably Martin, because Martin always comes fully prepared to every broadcast we do. Here's a 1-1 with 2 away. It's ball 2. A reminder that at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowd Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowd Companies, the insurance professionals. Fouled off, and the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ashlyn Height, the Andrean third baseman. Andrean wearing the black uniforms. Crown Point, the white tops with red pants. Up 9-0 after a 4 hit first inning, a 6-hit second inning where 10 batters came to the plate and 6 of them scored. Find themselves up big here with 2 out in the top of the third. A 2-2, a two-way coming from Grace Gabriel. Flown in a shallow center. Tegman comes in and makes the catch, and now will retire the side. Nothing comes of the 2-out single from Drosius. After 2.5, 9-0 the score. This is softball night in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. It is 9 in the top of the order for Crown Point here in inning number 3. Bulldogs looking, they've already broken it open now, just looking for the cherry on top of a great day of softball. That is drilled and way foul. Left side. Savannah reached on the game's first error. Came in the second inning. That one's inside and a hitter. Leadoff base runner aboard for the second straight frame. This time it comes with a little bit of pain. Tegman represents the top of the order, working on a 1-for-2 showing so far. Singleton scored in the second inning. It was a bunt single with 2 runners on. She was trying to just drop a sacrifice down, but where she placed her sacrifice bunt, she was able to snag it in time. That ball's thrown into center field. Play at third. She's safe there. Oh, that had a huge double play potential, and Andrean fails to even record an out in the process. It's a fielder's choice and an E1 in the same play. Here's Johnston, singled and a fielder's choice, and a pair of runs scored in this one. Runner by the way, and Tegman just stole second base. It's her team high now, 14th stolen bag of the season. Crushed and out of play left side. And that thud you heard was the sound of the ball landing on a metal bleacher. And a young fan goes and tracks it down. Johnson has driven in 11 so far this season, has a pair in scoring position, and takes that one up and in. Rain falling. Fans have broken out their umbrellas here on the campus of Crown Point High School. Strike 2 call. Johnson now in protect mode. A Crown Point team that just does so much right as an offense. They have a team OPS, which if you're unfamiliar with the term, on base percentage plus slugging. Their team OPS is 1,046. The national average in high school softball this year so far is 903. Johnston pops out to the third baseman, Ashlyn Height. A big first out for Drocious and for the visiting Andrean Fighting 59ers. Kita, who has driven in 2 so far with that 2 RBI double in the second. She singled and later stole home in the first. Drives it hard but foul down the left field line. Savannah on third, Tegman on second. Kita now up to 25 RBI on the year, which is the most on this Crown Point team. They had 5 players with 10 or more RBI entering this afternoon's contest. That one's off the plate. It's 1-1. Now they've only lost on this field one time. It was on April the 20th, a tight 2-1 loss against Lake Central. Their only conference loss as well. That one's rocketed off the glove of the pitcher and into left center field. 1 run in to score. Kita hustles for second, and she dives in there safely. And now Tegman, after staying patient, will come on in to score as well after the throw caromed away from Powell and Long. It's now 11-0 Crown Point here in the bottom of the third. That was a hard hit ball off the bat of Kita. As there's a meeting of the minds in the circle. I believe they're asking to get a towel for that softball to clean it, or at least just a new ball in the process. And we'll also see a change as well. I believe that's Stimick out there pinch running on second base. The sophomore infielder. And we will go to a break. You're watching Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Mortorano's Roofing is a family-owned business established in 1986, celebrating over 40 years. We have completed over 5,600 roof replacements, repairs, and chimney projects, focused in Northwest Indiana and Southwest Michigan. Mortorano's Roofing has always put family, friends, and customers first in our mission to complete roofing projects with the greatest care and consideration as if it was our own. Give them a call today for a free estimate at 219-872-8246. Mortorano's Roofing. Protect your past, present, and future roofs for you and your loved ones and your legacy.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
Stay with us after the game. We'll name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers 395. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. And we've got a pitching change as well, which means it's time for the newest Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler. And Andrean will turn to the right-hander. It is the freshman Summer Brannigan, 4-2 record in a team best 2.72 earned run average. This will be her 10th appearance on the season. Enigenberg Exteriors, a premier provider of roofing and siding services with over 40 years of experience. Check them out on the web at ebergexteriors.com. Ball one to Heavy Cuevas, the DP, who takes that one inside. Lila Stimick is the pinch runner at second base for Kita. 11-0, one out here in the bottom of the third. And the pitch. Brannigan slips on a pitch that bounces off the catcher's glove and caroms off the umpire. And this is the one tough part about pitching sometimes on these AstroTurf surfaces, is that should the rubber and the area, the landing zone really for any pitcher get slick, it can become very tough to accurately throw as a pitcher. That's in baseball or softball. And you saw right there Brannigan slipping right before, or on the release of the pitch, I should say. 3-0 the count, runner still on second. Brannigan, a multi-sport athlete, misses downstairs. Brannigan played against Crown Point, actually, in the regional title game between these two teams in girls basketball back in late February. As here's Govert, who had the 2 RBI single on a ball that landed next to first base between the first baseman and second baseman of Andrean. She fouls off the first pitch. That was part of a long at-bat from Crown Point. Here's the 0-1. Up and away. Wind blowing out to all three parts of the yard. Temperature slightly dipped. We're at 56 at game time, 52 right now, as the rain continues to fall. 1-1 is a high fly ball, foul down the left field line. Rain expected to subside by around 7 o'clock or so. And the temperatures will drop into the 40s. Here comes a 1-2. Brannigan slips. That pitches to the backstop, and both runners will advance. We just talked about the challenges of pitching in these conditions, and it's on display here. Still only one out, and here comes a 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball, left field, playable for Zygmuntowski. She's underneath it. The catch is made. Tagging and scoring from third is Stimick, the pinch runner, and it's 12-0 Crown Point. The sacrifice fly for Govert. It's her third ribby of the game. Now Anna Neal, who had the RBI triple her last time up, a 2 RBI game for her as well. High fly ball. This is foul. Zygmuntowski just ran out of room. They're being aggressive against Brannigan. Mentioned this is her 10th appearance. She leads the team. She does have a save on the year as well, too. And a team-high 35 strikeouts over 36 innings of work. In the turf, it's 1-1. Line to left, but it hooks foul. Neal nearly missed her second extra base hit of the game. Instead, just a little too far in front of it. It's another 2-strike count for Brannigan, who entered mid-inning and induced a flyout. Trying to get out of the jam. Trush just going 2 1/3. Here comes a 1-1. Or 1-2, I should say, and it's fouled off. A scorcher into her own dugout. It's always fun to see how teams react to those foul balls coming into their own dugout, and a lot of time teammates will give each other grief for it after the fact. Nice job by Neal. She stays alive. There are some softball teams at the region who have a chant pretty much saying, hey, hit the ball the other way, that way. Anytime a foul ball goes near them in their own dugout. As we have a stoppage here. I believe it's to try to get a couple of dry softballs. Home plate umpire goes to collect him from the third base dugout. That's where Crown Point resides here. Here comes another 1-2 pitch. It's popped out of play. Certainly qualifies as a quality at-bat for Amanda Neal. And there have been countless number of quality ABs. Up on the third base line, that's a foul ball. It would have ended the inning had it stayed fair. But once again, Neal stays alive. Round Point trying to build on their 12-0 lead. Here comes a 1-2 again. Brannigan slips on a pitch that goes to the backstop. And that's an easy base for Cuevas. She walked and has advanced to third. Not on any balls put in play, on 2 wild pitches. You can tell the footing right now is certainly an issue for the right-handed pitcher in the circle. Neal whistles that one off the siding of the third base dugout. Just got to do what you have to do to stay alive in these type of situations as a hitter. And she is doing so right now. Crown Point's won their last 2 games by a combined score of 34-2. Trying to add to that number over the last 3 as Neal pops this one up down the line. Zygmuntowski makes the catch near the line, and that will end the inning. Crown Point adds on 3 more, though. They lead 12-0 through 3. It's softball night in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana Homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you could count on, every time, everywhere.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point athletics and say, Go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmers market. New pitcher into the circle. Paige Lysert, the right-hander in there, which means it's time once again for another new Enegenberg Exteriors home improvement hurler. Paige, one of the best pitchers in the Duneland Conference, 8-1 on the year, a .96 earned run average across 11 appearances this season. Crown Point leading 12-0. There's that pitching change once again. Presented by Enegenberg Exteriors. And it's Enegenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurler for today. Enegenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. 2 balls and no strikes, the count to Poskin. It's 5-6-7 due up for Andrean, chasing a dozen. Crown Point in a really good run of form right now. If you include today, they have outscored their opponents across their last 3 games. Like I said, if you include today, 46-2. Here comes a 2-1. In on the hands. Gabriel was great. 3 shutout innings, allowed just 3 hits. With 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Strike 2. Poskin was getting ready to take her base. Here comes 3-2. In there, strike 3 called. Nice response there from Lysert after falling behind 3-1. She responds back to get the K. Just the second strikeout for Bulldog pitching in this one. Both of them, ironically, have been called third strikes. As Salmons will come up, she's the DP, 0 for 1 in this game. Having popped out to short, and she watches strike 1. Well, missing outside. It's 1-1. Salmon's a senior. 2 for 11 on her senior campaign. It's a good pitch there. It's 1-2. Ball just missed inside. Everyone looked like they were getting ready to flinch, including the hitter, too. Thinking that was going to be strike 3 called. Instead, here's a 2-2. It's fouled off the end of the bat. And inside the football stadium. First time we've said that one today. Drilled to right center field. Long run for Slovenia. That one will split the gap. Salmons will hold at first with a long one-out single. Here's a fun fact for you all at home. That is the first time Andrean has a base runner that hasn't been with 2 outs in the inning. Prior to that, all 4 of their base runners in this game had come with 2 outs in the frame. So Salmons appears to get pinch run for by the sophomore utility player Eloise Benjamin. So now runner on first base with 1 away. Here's Cassidy Powell, who worked a walk in the second against the starter Gabriel. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hey, softball fans looking to buy or sell in Northwest Indiana? Trust the Nicola Group, one of the region's top real estate teams, delivering a smooth, client-first experience every step of the way. The Nicola Group, the trusted Northwest Indiana real estate team. Counts now 1-1 to Cassidy Powell. She's the shortstop for the 59ers. And works into a hitter's count here. Lizards had some trouble with her command here. Gabriel interested to see she didn't go past the 3rd inning given how good she was in her start. Lizard, though, who's arguably been the team's best pitcher, though, bounces back immediately and gets the count to 2-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning. And Powell, after a disciplined plate appearance her first time out, goes down on strikes for out number 2. Left fielder Zimantowski was busy in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. 2 putouts. Take strike 1. She singled with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, was left there. Here's the 0-1. Off the outer edge. In case you're wondering how we got here, 3 runs in the first from Crown Point, then 6 in the second, which saw them bat around. And 3 more in the 3rd. Missed below the zone. It's 2-1. Overpowered her. And there's the 2-strike count again. Infield playing slightly in. Round Point defense is having a lot of fun right now. And there's strike 3. Climb the ladder, and it's back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the 4th inning for Lizer. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 12-0 the score on Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I was born, raised, started the family, and worked my nearly 30-year career in law enforcement, both as a local police officer and as an ATF agent, all here in Lake County. I promise to lead differently, restore the public's trust in the Sheriff's Department, and to build a world-class police organization that is focused on serving you. In this election, Lake County residents have a different choice, a better way. I'm Jason Gore, and I approve this message.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, hut.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We're always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. We are the only game in town tonight, proud to be it. And it has been all Crown Point. Bulldog fans, I'm sure, enjoying the good news right now, up 12-0. On 11 hits. As that one is taken outside, it is 7-8-9 due up for the Bulldogs here in the fourth inning. They are 3 outs away defensively, assuming they don't give up more than 2 runs from ending this one early. That's a nice play at first by Poskin, and there's one away. Dauphin, who has been behind the plate for CP, and is 1 for 2 on the day. A single, and she's reached on a fielder's choice. Strike one. A sophomore catcher has called a great game behind the plate so far today. Takes that one upstairs. By the way, the groundout signifies the first time since the first inning that Crown Point has not put the leadoff batter aboard. Brannigan ready at another offering. This time it's foul back. And it will land right behind home plate. So the rain's slowly having a factor in this one. We mentioned the slippage from Brannigan in the circle her last half inning. Also saw the water kind of dripping down from the netting as the ball rolled on top of it to get back to home plate. In off the hands, but it's foul. And it's still another 2-strike count. Brannigan's done a great job getting out in front now this half inning compared to her last half inning of relief work. As we have another stoppage here as the umpire going to get some fresh, at least dried softballs from the third base dugout. No, it's probably just a towel dry situation, but part of me hopes there's like some fun like heating system they have in the dugout. That's a rocket up the middle, and it's a base hit for Dauphin, and it will be just a single. Still, nonetheless, a hard hit ball for the sophomore catcher. The right fielder has scored twice. She reached on there in the second, was hit by a pitch, and later came around to score in the third. That's foul on the first pitch. As the umpire goes to get some more softballs. Reminder that Mayor Pete Lane and the Crown Point Police Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say, Go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. Dauphin staying on first base. She was courtesy ran for in the second inning by Amaria Yarbrough. It is still Dauphin on first base. Here comes a 2-strike pitch here from Brannigan. It's high for ball one. The Single here from Stella, the 12th hit of the ball game for Crown Point. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Brannigan blew it by her, and there's 2 away. Yarborough now pinch hitting here for Tegman. Yarborough, a 174 hitter. She's 4 for 23 this season, but she has driven in 5 runs. This is her 16th game played. Waved at and missed. It's 1-1. Here comes the 2-1. Off the end of the bat, it's foul. Yarborough trying to stay alive here. Brannigan, who picked up her first strikeout of the game in relief a moment ago. Her 36th on the year, extending her team lead. Here's a 2-2. Again, slapped the other way and foul into the Crown Point bullpen. Crown Point looking for a couple more. They are 3 outs away defensively from a run rule win. Here comes a 2-2 again. Line but caught it short by Powell, and that will end the inning. Nothing comes with a 1-out single from Dauphin. We go to the 5th inning. 12-0 Crown Point the score here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Meet Scott Miller, a lifelong Northwest Indiana resident. Scott has spent his career serving his community as a teacher, school leader, and superintendent of Hammond schools. Today, he serves as Chief of Staff for the City of Hammond, helping lead operations and guide decisions that impact local families every day. Known for tackling tough challenges and making responsible, honest decisions, Scott is ready to bring steady leadership to the Lake County Council. Scott Miller, responsible, experienced, ready.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Welcome back. Top of the 5th inning. Keep up with all things Region Sports. Be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We're always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. Crown Point hoping this is the last half inning of the game. They are 3 outs away from a win, based off of at least my interpretation of the run rules. Up by 12. I believe it's 10 after 5 here in the state of Indiana. So unless Andrean can rally here, Bulldogs 3 outs from a W. And Leslie Wong, who represents the number 9 hole spot, takes ball 3. And it's 3-0 here to start it off. Strike 1. Firm pitch on the outer third. Wong popped out to second base. Her counterpart in Govert back in the 2nd inning. as the Frames final out. Late there, and it's all of a sudden 3-2. Three-two is taken for strike three. Fourth strikeout already for Lysert. She has been feeling it since coming out of the bullpen in the top of the fourth inning. Here's McCoy, who represents the top of the order. 0 for 2 showing so far, a ground out and a pop out. Just 4 hits on the day for Andrean. As that one's taken for ball 1. Slap foul. McCoy, who is average-wise the best on this 59ers squad of 532. She was 25 for 47 in 54 play appearances entering today's contest. Gabriel silenced her twice. Lysert trying to do the same here in the 5th inning. Squares the bunt, drops it down. Kita off the third base position, throws it away. On her way to second goes McCoy, and she's in there standing. One of those in-betweeners. The pitcher out of the circle, Lysert, or the third baseman, Kita, who came charging in. It's a tough play either way, and it's a runner in scoring position. Just the second of the game for the visiting Andrean 59ers. It is ruled an infield single. Swing and a miss, strike one on Alba, so I believe it's a single and then an error on the throw to advance the runner. Runner squares. It's pulled back on a ball. Alba, who is put together a solid season. She was 278 coming in. Just trying to put together a quality team at bat here. McCoy, good speed off second as the bunt is deflected off of the glove of the catcher. For strike two, the runner advances to third. It's just as good as the bunt, and now Alba can swing away freely. McCoy, who is very dangerous in the base pass, 14 stolen bases on the season. So a fly ball should score her, barring a great throw coming to the plate. Here comes a 2-strike pitch. It is ball. Rode high and away from the hitter. Is it ready? And another offering. Try to get her to chase. She wouldn't fight. Counts now full. Can get very interesting here very quickly if Alba reaches. Swing and a miss, strike three. And there's 2 away in the 5th. And we will see a pinch hitter here. It'll be Summer Brannigan, rather, coming into bat for herself. Who takes a strike. Brannigan, a .333 average. She's 3 for 9 in just 9 plate appearances this season. Replaces Drocious, who was 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Counts now 0-2. And up 12-0. Crown Point hopes to end this one early here. Weiser ready, pitcher on pitcher. For an 0-2. Got her swinging. And that will do it. Crown Point, another run rule victory. And more specifically, have now won 6 in a row against the Andrean Fighting 59ers. 12-0 is the final score. We'll take our last break of the game, and we'll come back with some post-game hardware to hand out. You're watching Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Stratton Manteau was voted Best of the Region in 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratton Manteau.
Welcome back. 12-0 the final score. News is good if you're a Crown Point Bulldog fan, and it was a job well done, all-around team win, 12 runs, 12 hits. Played solid defense for the majority of the game. The one error coming on a throwing error in the top of the 5th inning. Time to now name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals. Eva Gilbert is our Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight. The Crown Point second baseman, a 3 RBI performance, 2 hits on the day as well. She went 2 for 2 of a sacrifice fly, including a 2-run scoring single in the bottom of the 2nd inning that helped extend what ended up being a 6-run off 6-hit inning in which Crown Point sent 10 batters to the plate. Time now for the Boilermaker Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And the Boilermakers Local Blue Collar Player of the Game tonight was Sadie Brocious, the starting pitcher for Andrean. She struggled in the circle. We're going to look at her offense, though. The only hitter to reach base multiple times tonight for Andrean. She was 2 for 2 with 2 singles. She didn't bat her 3rd time up, scheduled as she was replaced in the circle by Summer Brannigan. But a 2-hit showing for her. The only multi-hit game for Andrean is tonight's Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Last but not least, our Proud to Be Union Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers Local 395 to find out how you can become a Union Ironworker. Visit ironworkers395.com. And our Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game tonight belongs to the RBI triple from Anna Neal. It was her 2nd RBI of the game. It came in the 2nd inning, a rocket off the right field wall. Nearly got out for a home run, but she found her way onto 3rd base for her 2nd triple of the season. She's the only player on Crown Point, believe it or not, with multiple triples in this 2026 season. That was tonight's Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. So Crown Point will enjoy this one, and then they will have a game tomorrow night where they will take on Hanover Central right here at home at 4:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Andrean will look to bounce back their next outing, a conference game on the road at Highland on Monday, May 4th. Your final line totals for this one: Crown Point 12 runs off 12 hits with an error. They left 4 on base. For Andrean, no runs on 5 hits with 2 errors, and they left 6 on base. The win goes to Grace Gabriel, her 2nd. The loss goes to Sadie Drocious, her 5th on the season. Special thanks to our executive producer, Chris Riberos, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, our coordinating producer, Zach Miller, and our sports director, Mike Dulon. Special thanks to the coaches and administrators for each program, for Andrean, Allison Aguilera, and Neil Demos, who's the AD, and for Crown Point, Angie Richwalski, she's the head coach there, and Bill Derula, he's the athletic director. And last but not least, a thank you to the viewers like you at home at regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, and the IHSAA Champions Network. For our entire on-site crew who did a phenomenal job, as always, here in Crown Point, for producer Zach Zanelli on the ones and twos, and our camera operator Martin Murillo Jr., this is Cab Molator saying so long from Crown Point High School. You've been watching Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best